Hello there. My name is Luke DuFour. I have the channel Luke DuFour. I created a Taskmaster fan show. It's a fan show for a show called Taskmaster. And I'm here to tell you how I made that whole show in under $200. So join me. But first, we're going to get out of this room because it's a little echoey in case you couldn't tell. But I got to grab something from my medicine cabinet, so hold tight. Let's see here. Oh, so you want to make a YouTube series. The first thing you have to do, and I can't stress it enough because it is different from planning, is you have to figure out exactly what it is you want to do. Because you can't plan for something unless you don't know what it is you're planning for. That can sometimes be in the same steps, but what you want to do is first figure out exactly what it is you want to do. Do you want to do something animation? Do you want to do something live action? Do you want to do something outdoors, indoors, with people, without people? Like how-to videos, silly videos, random, whatever. What do you want to do? What do you like doing? What do you like watching? Like videos that I like to create are videos that I like to watch. I Not all the time though. For those of you that don't know, I have another channel, Super Adventures. It's a Let's Play channel. I love watching Let's Plays. With that said, I'm not as keen on making them. I like making them, but it's a lot of work in order for them to be really good. And I just don't have the patience to make them as good as they could be. With that said, this series that I made, Tasks, is more random. So I knew I wanted to make something more live action with people and at a sketch based manner. I just didn't know what that looked like yet until enter Drew Weeks. He was the one that messaged me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I have a show idea for you." Well, he didn't realize he said that. He said, "Here's a TV show called Taskmaster. It's right up your alley." And so that's when it clicked in my head. I watched the show. I watched like 3 seasons or something, and I was like, I'm gonna make this show. So then I had a plan. Well, then I started planning, I should say, because that's where the next step is. The next stage is planning. Now, this is also going to lead into the next step. The first 3 steps are basically all very, very similar. Um, and they're just going to lead into you got to figure out what you want to do, then you got to plan, and then you got to actually start working on it. So for me, my planning looked like I have to create tasks because if you know the show, if you've watched my show or the original show, either one, you know there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes as far as like they write out all these tasks, they figure out how to make them like open ended so that it's like not just one way to do it, multiple different ways, and keep it open so that there's even more that maybe you don't think of. Because usually when I created a task, it was um, I could figure out a couple ways to do it myself. So I wanted to make it so that it was reasonable, so that there was even more ways that maybe I wasn't thinking of, and that's a challenge. This took a lot of planning ahead of time because also I needed to know if I was just gonna do like a couple episodes, if I was gonna do it in an episode fashion, if it was gonna be um, you know, individuals where we have 5 contestants and just have an episode, one for each person, and that's how it was. Or if I was going to do it like the original show, where it's, hey, Taskmaster, okay, there's 5 people recorded separately and then put together. And if you've watched my show, you know which way I chose. But I had to figure that out because I needed to tell all these people that were going to be involved what that was going to be. So there was a lot of planning for me, a lot of planning for them, a lot of planning. And a lot of this happened just while I was at work. I would have like a thought, and when there was downtime or a break or something, I would just put a little note in my phone and be like, okay, here's how many people I want to have involved. Here's what I'm going to need behind the scenes. Here are the tasks. Once I wrote the tasks, then I had to figure out what do I need for those tasks, because just having tasks isn't necessarily enough. I need to know what I need for those tasks, which again goes to, hey, I know how I would do this, but how would they do this? So it was a lot of planning. I started planning all of this in July of 2021. Like the idea was conceived to do the show in about May of 2021, but I didn't start planning it until uh, July. And that planning took place for the next couple months. Like this wasn't like okay, I'm gonna plan it this week and then I'm gonna start setting stuff up. No, this was a long, long process. And so yeah. And so the task process, like I said, was just figuring out what exactly I needed, then going out and shopping. And I told you that this whole series costs about less than $200, and that's for the most part true because a lot of the stuff I already had. So everyone is gonna look a little different as far as like what they have and what they don't. But that's part of the beauty of creating something. You want to make something that you want to make, something that you want to watch, and this was something that I wanted to watch, and I created it, and I love it. I love watching it. This is the first thing I can honestly say that I am excited to watch as well. Like other things that I made, I put it out there. I was like, I enjoyed making this in the editing room. I've seen it so many more times. I'm done. Maybe I'll come to do it in a couple of years. No, a lot of these episodes I watched like when they aired. I was genuinely excited, and we had a premiere party where I invited all the cast, and we got to watch it there, and it was so much fun. So yeah, so a lot of planning. Take your time with it. I can't stress this enough. Like people, they want to make something now. They want it to be relevant now, and I get that. But if you hold yourself to a schedule, then you're losing a lot of the fun. You want to rush it out and get it out, and by doing that, by putting a set release date, um, you know, you're now have that in the back of your mind forever, where you're just stressed all the time. You're not, if you're watching this video, you're not Steven Spielberg, you're not Michael Bay, you're not someone that is making multi-million dollar movies. You're a YouTuber. That's not saying you're better or worse than them. That's saying you're not at that level. You don't have that budget, you don't have that experience. If you're watching a video where I made a series for under $200, you don't, and you know how to do it, and you want it out in a few weeks, this is the wrong video for you. This is, hey, I got a few bucks in my wallet, I want to make something. Cool. First thing you want to do, pull out your phone. I'm using my phone right now, like the phone that I use on a regular basis, not like, anything fancy. This is a Galaxy S9. It's a great phone. It has a decent camera, decent sound quality. I'm not using any like earphones, microphones, nothing like that. I have that stuff, but I wanted to make it so that it was as simple and basic as possible so that any kid can do this. So if you have a phone or a computer or both, that's going to be what you need. One or the other, recommended both, but those are your starting points. Phone, computer. That's it. Now we're going to get into, because I'll get into like specifics of that later, but now I'm going to get into the next step, which is setting stuff up. Now, after you've taken months, in my case, it took from July till about, I think I started filming in October. So that was a long time of just planning, and in that time, getting stuff ready, and buying stuff on Amazon and miscellaneous dollar store, a lot of dollar store stuff. I would just go in the dollar store, see what I find, see if I could get it, like influenced and like motivated. I can't think of the word, um, but you know, like where I'm like, oh, inspired. Inspired is not a hard word, but I woke up an hour ago. So with that said, I got inspired many times in many different directions. Some things I bought and didn't know what I was going to do with them. For example, the upside down goggles. I knew I wanted to use them. I bought a whole game at Target just for that. And that game was like 20, $30. And I'm like, I just, like the game, I don't care. I want those goggles because I go on Etsy and those goggles, like good ones, like $100. I'm like, no, find corners to cut. There's so many corners to cut. It's just figuring out where they are. So, with that said, I also went to Walmart to buy essentially what I'm using right now is this thing, which is so nice. Where if you were to open this up, it makes like a little tripod. It's hard to do one hand. But this is adjustable so that it can fit any phone. I have a giant phone case, which is a battery pack on my phone, so it even holds that. This was like $6. It wasn't expensive. I went to Walmart and bought 3 of them. And they're great. This is all I used for like tripods because my goal was to have like a camera crew and people to help me, and it just didn't pan out. So ultimately, this is going to look weird because I'm putting the phone back on there. I was going to have a camera crew. And, oh, here's my golden duck. I'll get to that in a little bit. And my shirt. Leave me alone, I'm a nerd. But originally I was going to have a camera crew. And it just didn't pan out, scheduling and everything like that. And it's hard finding people that want to work for free because this whole project was just a passion project. It was just for fun. It wasn't meant to make money. Like I have videos monetized, but it's for the purpose of just getting my money back. And if I make more than that, it's going to probably get donated to charity. I'm not in this for the money at all. I'm in this for the fun of it, give people nice family-friendly entertainment, and just have a good time. Everybody who was involved had a great time. It was so much fun. So with that said, the next step is, as I said, setting stuff up. Now, this step will look different. For me, it looked like, hey, I'm a homeowner, so I basically used my basement for all the recording. Everything was downstairs. They had access to my house, the garage, as you saw in the series if you watched it, and all kinds of stuff. Use what you have. I have that. Some people have more, some people have less. You know, I look at like videos like Markiplier and stuff, or Corridor Digital, which Corridor Digital was one of the big inspirations for me making this series, is because they talk to us, they talk to the people who are just getting started, and I greatly appreciate that. And I appreciate you, Corridor Digital. Like Sam, Nico, you guys are awesome. I love you. And I'm going to continue to watch pretty much everything you guys do. With that said, though, like this show, setting it up will look different for me as for you and your show. Whatever you're wanting to do, that's when it's going to get like different. But I'm going to be speaking on my show and how I did it. So, and this is how I did it. So setting up, I got all the props. I have them all in a closet, and I took a little video of like just showing where everything was, moved furniture around, and so here's that video now. And this room is essentially where I had all the stuff just kind of sitting in here on a table. There's all the leftover toilet paper that I swear I'll use one day and not let it go to waste. The one of the leftover coloring books. This was a mess going in and out. I had all the tasks on index cards, and there's some envelopes, and I believe under here there's a stack. Yeah. Here's all of the tasks. Somebody didn't, one of the contestants didn't want to take them, so I have them. So I let them keep them as souvenir as an option. So yeah, we've got feathers under here. We've got just little stickers of how I put it all together. You know, a lot of this stuff is dollar store stuff. The most expensive is probably the toilet paper, because obvious reasons. But yeah, I have a couple extra fezzes. But yeah, so this is like where a lot of the magic happened. And this door was closed right back here, right by the stairs. And this room is a mess, but yeah, like I later set up the chair here for when me and the Taskmaster were, um, you know, doing the show. I had this table set back with a bunch of games against this wall and propped up a camera using one of these things, which is pretty cool. It's very adjustable, so it could fit any phone. And then the table over there was where I've got, just laundry that's currently being folded, but I stopped to make this video. And yeah, so in this closet we have my Christmas tree. Almost time to put that up. This is loud. As you can tell, the audio is quite different. We had to basically turn that off whenever we were filming because it was causing horrible feedback, and it's probably going to be interesting now. It's not actually the hot water tank, but it's the furnace on the other end. But yeah, so in here I've got they had access to this whole closet where it's just a ton of miscellaneous little things I've gathered over the years. That looks familiar, doesn't it? Not that, but that. Um, all kinds of things. Some of the stuff has moved since the recording of the show, but some stuff definitely looks familiar. Almost gave him Luigi, but I didn't. But yeah, so here's all the hats. Definitely a good time. Yeah, so yeah, that's essentially everything down here. Going upstairs is going to be where the wardrobe was, but they never used. Every single one of them had options, but they never used it. This room is a mess, but essentially the closet in here has all kinds of different wardrobes that I've collected from various thrift stores and things. And there's some coats just hanging on the wall. Hey, Bendy. And just different coats. So they had access to all of those. Whether or not they used it, that was up to them. Which, spoilers, they really didn't. It's not really spoilers, it's coming out after the show. But yeah, so they had access to all this stuff. There was some rooms that they did not have access to, and that was explained to them beforehand. And so there wasn't many questions during the show. It was just, there you go. We knew. And I told them at any point they could ask any questions, and they did. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. I had all the tasks, what I didn't show in the video, I have all the tasks lined up so that they were in order. So I'd take one, look at it, okay, set up the scene for this, and move the cameras where they needed to be. And yeah, I had 3 cameras set up all over. That was fun. One camera was in my hand like it is now, and the other were two stationary. When they needed to be moved, they needed to be moved. And I tried to make it happen so that there was always at least one camera on the actor at all times. That was difficult. That was very, very difficult. But now we're getting into filming. Was definitely one of the most fun parts of the series, but it's also one of the most difficult because dealing with multiple schedules, and we filmed this in the middle of a pandemic. That was challenging. We tried to accommodate for everyone. Whenever anybody wasn't feeling well of any way, we just called off filming. Filming took place between October, I think. It might have been November. It might have been December. I think it might have been December. And it lasted till February, maybe March. I don't remember. No, well, technically, so there were the five contestants, if you will. They were filmed in the winter time. Each person had 2 days of filming, and the reason for that is the cameras that I'm using even right now. So the three cameras that I used were all phones, Galaxy S9 and two Galaxy S7s, and they all had this tripod. And the way that they were set up is I cranked um, the specs on the actual camera up, like the resolution, to give it a better look. They um, Some were better than others, so if you're watching the video, you can definitely tell like the quality changes a bit. Try to keep it about the same, but I wasn't too worried about that. I was more worried about the actual footage that was being captured and how well everything like looked from the acting standpoint, like that they were having a good time, that it was entertaining, stuff like that. So with that said, um, we filmed that in 10 days, not all at once. It was sporadic, but I filmed one person at a time. So when one was done, I'd move on to the next person. And I filmed the same things over and over and over again. It was difficult. That might not be how you want to do a series. I actually recommend not doing a series that way because it made for such a headache. There was different illnesses. I had got COVID during it. There was some ear infections. There was some other illnesses. There was some other complication. There was so many random stuff that happened. And it was difficult, especially since it was just me working behind the scenes. In front of the scenes, obviously it was them, but it was very, very difficult. And to say I got overwhelmed is an understatement. This was a lot of work. If you want to make a series, just know it is a lot of work, especially if you're doing it for free, because the free route is always the longer route. But it's fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. Would I do it again? I don't know. If I do, it'll be at a lower capacity because I definitely went overboard. I mean, there was 20 weeks of content. That's a long time. This is going up after all of that is done. But anyway, so filming was fun, keeping the location simple. Everything was done at my house. They had the option to leave my house if they wanted to. Had the option of going places if they wanted to. That was all up to them. Um, but yeah, so that was that. Um, so that's filming. That filming, there isn't much to say. It's just going and doing. I wasn't worried so much about cuts and takes. That's going to look different for your show. Do it in sections. Do it so that it's okay, here's a few lines of dialogue. Okay, cut. Look at the dialogue, see how it looks, go from there. Because when I was setting up the cameras, I would just see what it looked like, see how it sounded, boom. The one filming mistake that I did, and I had mentioned, the furnace. Everybody was cold, and I apologize. We were in the winter season. My furnace was going, and recording the first person, I realized when I exported the footage on my computer, oh my goodness, I couldn't hear great quality because the furnace was just going. I had the camera set up so that it's like constantly hearing that in the background. So there was some audio tweaks. It was for Tabitha. So on some of her videos, you can certainly tell. Like if you were to listen to some of her videos, some of the audio isn't good, and that's because of the furnace. Try to correct it in the computer, do some magic. It didn't quite work, but it's all I could do. We couldn't redo the footage because all the tasks, she knew them. But anyway, so that's filming. There was Jermaine's filming, which that took place later. That was after I edited all of the stuff together. And I just had gaps where we inserted his footage right in. There wasn't much editing with his. So the actual filming process was just that, done. So his filming was easier, but it took more time. I think it was three film days. But he was dealing with cancer. if you didn't see in the final episode, he did end up passing. He did not make it to see the any of the series, but he genuinely did love it. He loved doing it. He loved being able to get out of the house and do something. He lived very close to me, and his wife had told me that like it was definitely like one of the highlights, and that made me very happy of knowing that I gave him a distraction. So he really did want to finish it, and he did. So did it finish exactly the way we were hoping? No, but it finished, and he was very very happy. So I thank God for Jermaine. I'm very grateful for him, and I don't want to talk about it too much, only because, um, I could do a whole video on that alone, just talking about Jermaine. He was one of my best friends, but I'm very very grateful for him and everything that he did. So his filming though was separate. We made it so that it was just us two, and we were gonna do some more stuff, but he just didn't have the strength. So with that said, his filming was done after all of the contestants, the 5 contestants, were put together in editing. And so now we're going to talk about editing. Okay, so I'm going to do everything over again because I definitely didn't forget to hit record on the screen and do things like that. So yeah, definitely 100% didn't forget to include this, which is OBS. Why is Tabitha calling me? This is going in the video. I have to retake this, and it's your fault, Tabitha, because I gotta answer the phone. I hope you're happy, Tabitha. So anyway, this is Filmora. This is Wondershare Filmora. This is the editing software that I have used for years, honestly. Like, it is a fantastic product, and I want to stress that I like it because it's think Windows Movie Maker back in the day, but good. I'm not knocking Windows. Windows is great and all that, but their movie making, there's a reason why it was free. This is free, but it comes with a watermark. Now, the thing is, if you don't care about that, that's fine, but it's not expensive to buy it or even do a subscription. So if that's an option for you, buy it, do the subscription, things like that. So all that's to say, this is what I use. And I'm going to show you essentially what it looks like to do that. Now, so I had 3 cameras. I called them just device 1, 2, and 3. 2 of them are Galaxy S7s, and then one's a Galaxy S9, which is what I'm recording right here. So we're just gonna do, I'm picking on Drew a lot, I apologize. So we're gonna do what it looks like, the 1 foot task. Just go in alphabetical order. So they're all right here. When you play it, ready. There's one camera angle. There's another camera angle. And the third camera angle. I'm ready. And by me saying like and ready and stuff like that, that's me knowing where to cut and sync and all that, because the thing is, I'm manning all of these. Like, this is me. So what's happening here is I have to sync them all together, and this is what that looks like. First I have to figure out, okay, what is the earliest footage? I believe it is this one. Okay, and yes. So we're gonna drag that right there. The resolution or frame rate of this media does not match the settings of this project. Do you want to change the project setting to match the media? I don't remember what I pushed here, but I believe it's keep project settings the way they are. It's not dire any which way you look at it, but I think that's what I did. And then what I do is I grab this guy right here, crank it all the way up. That's the volume. That's all the things that I said. And then I drag another one down. Crank that up. This one's a little smaller. A lot of customizations. You can literally make things bigger or smaller. And just like that, look at that. Those kind of look familiar, don't they? What if we just drag that over to about there? Then you notice when we hit play here, it's pretty close, isn't it? So literally, like, we just kind of tap in the direction that we need. If we put this bar here, drag to that line, boom, and then we try again. And getting close. And then we do it again. And I'm going the wrong way, I believe. Oops. And I'm ready. It's not lining up the way that I want it to. And I'm ready. I'm going the wrong way again. So unprofessional of me. I know. I'm such a terrible movie maker. And or am I? Hahaha. Oh yeah, so I click this to just make the timeline bigger. And by doing that, I can get a little more technical. And I'm ready. Look at that. Off by like the smallest of sliver, which when it's that close, okay, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. It just has to be close enough. And I went the wrong way. I'm going to push Control Z to back it up that way. And then I'm going to put like that. And did I seriously like go too far the other way now? That's crazy. Okay. So this is where like it's tedious. It's a lot of tedious work where it's just finding that sweet. And see right there. Now it's synced. Oh, but that's where you start. You do that with all three files. You do one at a time, and then like let's see if we can like get lucky here and get the third one like that. Oh, I can already see that that's wrong. Ready. Whoa, we're getting close, boys. Oops. So it doesn't matter exactly like what level it's on, just so long as they're on different levels. Ready. Ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm just going to say that's close enough. That's basically what it looks like. And so from there, now they're all synced up. So you don't get an echo. You just basically pick the file that's got like the best sound to it and just take the rest and mute them. So literally like you only have one sound file. And I don't know which one I picked. That one's probably the one that I used in the show. If you double click on it, so you can go to audio here. Here they are. And just like put it where you want it. So let's say 8. This is editing. But like I did camera angles. And you're probably like, how'd you do that? Oh, look at that. It's a cut. So literally when you click on just the background, so none of them are highlighted, click the cut, all of them cut at the exact same spot. So now I just take one of the footage, oops, I grabbed them all, click one, drag it on top, and now check it out. It will flawlessly cut to a different part. This is editing. Editing is super easy, but also it's a lot. Like it's a lot of tedious work. I love editing and I also hate editing because it is so much work. But this is what it looks like. From there you can do a lot of different things. Like if you have like, so whatever is on top, that's what your main file is. So like everything is in the background. You can delete all this stuff. You can keep it. It really doesn't matter. It's just you're only going to see here. I would delete it because it's going to save you time. But yeah, so literally like from there, this is what this looks like. You can do like transitions, which I've done before, where it's like, you know, when you double click on some, it'll give you an example. And when you put it here, you know, you're putting it in between the in between the files. And so please go back here, and this is what that looks like to fade. But if you want more sensitivity in one direction, you can literally slide it to either or direction, and then it'll fade into this clip only, and then poof, like that, or vice versa. Which it looks the same, but it is at a different point. Some of them it's a little more apparent as far as what's going on, but yeah, this is editing. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of just figuring out. There's, if you have different audio tracks, you can put that in the background. Different titles. I used a bunch of these title tracks, transitions. I didn't really use any effects or elements for this, or split screen. There's a timer? Hold on. How long has that been there? I could have used that. Split screen, there's a lot of options for that. And this program is great. When you're done, you then hit this button right here, which is render. This smooths out all the footage and makes it look nice, and then you go to export. When you're done exporting, that's where you made it. It's done. I went through this process several times where first I had, like you see here, where it's all three footage, like all three camera angles from one person. I did that for every single person. So times that by 5 people per task. Some of them were more than 3 videos. So like if we go into this folder, so Drew's tasks, so like the duck scene, there's 1, 2, 3 just for one camera angle. There was up to like 10 videos per person sometimes, and that's just how it is. And man, it was a lot of work. So that was my phase 1 of editing. Phase 2 was, if I remember correctly, putting them all together. Phase 3 was now adding music to what was put together. Phase 4 was adding all the Jermaine parts and putting them in there. Because I had all of them done when Jermaine and I were recording, and that's when, because he was watching that footage. And so after we were done recording with him, it was very easy. It was just put his videos right in, and that's as easy as this. So like, we go here, okay, now I've got this cut right here. We're gonna just get rid of this part, right click, delete that. I said click, right click, and delete that. Thank you. But then you literally drag any footage that you want and literally just boop right in there. And now it's in there. That's it. It's really easy. It's a lot of trial and error. If you want more details of like how the process of here works, let me know. But I think really the only thing to do now is to show you more details of how to edit. So I'm going to show you a little bit. We're going to get a little meta, but I'm going to show you a little bit of this video that we're doing right now. I'm going to edit that while recording it and then put in little highlights so that you can see what's going on. So here we go. So here I have like all the videos that I had recorded the last time. Oh yeah, so boom, just drag them all. Look at that, boom, easy. Editing with smaller proxy clips was all in faster, so like click yes on all of these, and that's gonna go, it's gonna like smooth them out and make them better and everything like that. So now we wait. Was it just one? That was a short wait, but okay, I'll take it. Okay, so we're gonna do one at a time. You can drag it, or you can just hit the plus and it'll add it. Cape project. I might actually match it in media. We're gonna see what happens. This video might go very different. Anyway, so yeah, there's the. Hello there. My name is DuFour. Ooh, that's not where the video started. So, boop-a-doo. We're gonna scroll it back. We're gonna go there, right here, cut, right click, delete. That's where the video started. That seemed more familiar, didn't it? Hello there. My name is DuFour. I have the channel DuFour. I created a Taskmaster fan show. It's a fan show for a show called Taskmaster. You've already seen this, so we're gonna scroll ahead. Let's see here. And then I'm gonna cut that and trim that out a bit. Then I think we're gonna add a little bit of music. So we're gonna do a little title card. Watch some of this other channel where there's title card. So it's nothing like that, but we're gonna do some basic, nothing crazy. And we're gonna go here, just click on it. We're gonna click on the letters. And caps lock, so it always looks nice. How to make a YouTube. Let's just put how to make YouTube videos. How to make videos. There we go. And then move this out of the way. We're gonna scale this a little so that it fits in the box nicer. So I'm gonna go down like that. I'm gonna grab it, and then that's it. And then we'll do the subtitle on YouTube for under $200. And there, boom. And then when we go there, we'll click. When it goes to black, that comes up. Pretty cool, huh? Then, of course, we got the next clip, which goes right there. So you want to make a YouTube series. The first thing you have to do... Why don't we fade in? I like that. Why can't I remember to push what I want to push? I want downloads. Let's do... No, wait. Fade. We're going to put it right there. And then... So you want to make a YouTube series. The first... That's me! First thing you have to do, and I can't stress it enough because it is different from planning, is you have to figure out exactly what it is you want to do. That guy's pretty smart. I'm just gonna say he knows what he's talking about. I just didn't know what that looked like yet until enter Drew Weeks. He was the one that messaged me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I just didn't know what that looked like yet." So now we're gonna add this. Enter Drew Weeks. Enter Drew Weeks. That sounds like a cue. So we're gonna go into my photos here. Go to media, take a photo, drag it in the media, because of course, enter Drew Weeks. And then you literally do whatever you want with it, where, boom. So now when I say that, enter Drew Weeks. But I think I can get it a little closer, so. Drew Weeks.
enter
right there, right on the D.
Drew Weeks. He was the.
But I want to have a little fun, so I'm gonna double click on it. Animation. And then you look for something fun. How about, yeah, vortex in. So now check this out.
Drew Weeks. He was the one that.
So it changed a little. That's fine. So I'll just
enter Drew Weeks. Hill entered Drew Weeks. He was the one that messaged me out of the blue and said, "Hey."
I'll extend them a little bit. You could literally just click on it and go like that.
Until entered Drew Weeks. He was the one that messaged me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I have a show idea for you."
So now I'm going to show you what this all looks like. We're going to hit this button here, which is render. This will pop up. It doesn't usually take long. If it does take long, you might need to update the system. But you see it's only going to take a few minutes. So while that does that, I want to explain with editing. It is a very tedious process. It is something that like even like now, some of the footage had skipped ahead because while I was editing, I started getting in the zone. And I'm just like, I don't want to just sit here and like not talk and edit a video while recording it. That's just kind of silly. So I went full focus mode, started editing, and this is what came of it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to render like now and then export. This video is not done because there's more after this. You can look at the timestamp, and it's not done. So, but you can do different like levels. Like there, first of all, this video is already like pretty long. We've only made it into the 20-some minute mark, and you can see by the timestamp this is well over a half hour. I didn't want this video to be long. I was hoping it'd be like 20 minutes, but I'm not a how-to kind of person. I don't know how to explain it. I said I would do it, and that's why I'm doing this. So this is more of like a vlog type video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the next step, which is releasing the video. Spoilers. I don't know what spoilers. It's literally just right after I'm done talking from this angle. But anyway, when we go to the next part, though, just know that I wanted to make this video to kind of start a conversation. If you want more information and you want me to cover more stuff, I'll do it. Like, I can edit a video. Like, I can edit a brand new video. But it really just tell me what you want to see. So, because I briefly mentioned OBS. OBS was not used in this actual series. Not really. And then like tomorrow that was used. I could go more over that. I could go more over like how to use them together, different little things. Like there's a ton of stuff. There is a ton of stuff. And this video could be hours and hours and hours going through everything. I don't even know everything. So I'd recommend a lot of this is trial and error and just Googling. Like going on YouTube and just searching Filmora need to green screen, which I did for one joke, and I don't even remember how I did it, but I remember like, oh, it was really easy. Like it took me like 5 minutes, like watching the video to doing it. Simple. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for editing. There's not much else. This is done now. Well, 19, 18 seconds. Let's just awkwardly wait. And that's rendered. So then you hit export, and this is what this screen looks like. You can pick the file format. You can go to device, YouTube, Vimeo. DVD, and you pick everything here. Like, you pick the location you want to go to, what you want to name it. You can always change this later. Like, that's it. Like, it's very, very simple. A lot of this is very easy. So I have faith in you. Enjoy this process, because editing, while it's tedious, it is so much fun. Like, I really do enjoy it, but I want to do it. I don't want to be forced to do it. And that's the problem, is like, when you're doing like crazy deadlines and stuff, it gets so stressful. So don't overstress yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Have fun. Like, this is where you're literally putting all the puzzle pieces together, and it is so rewarding when you do it. So there you have it. Editing. And then after that, you just release it. That's the whole thing. I don't want to undersell this. I don't want you to think that this is an easy thing to do. This is a lot. This is a lot of work. This is the most work I've done on any project. I didn't release this until, I think it was July of 2022. This took an entire year to make. Hundreds, close to 1,000 video edits probably. 7 people involved, including myself. The money, like the main money went into like getting the video software, and like just miscellaneous little props. A lot of it I already had, but that's it. Like, there really isn't much money involved. Like, and these camera stands, which are like $6 a piece at Walmart. I'll have a picture of the actual box and stuff on the screen, like right here. Um, it's this is a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. I am thankful for Cole, Drew, Hannah, Julie, and Tabitha, as well as Jermaine. I'm grateful for all of them, for all of their patience. Fun fact, Jermaine was actually thinking about being a contestant in the show, but just due to energy levels, didn't happen. So when I approached him and asked if he wanted to be the Taskmaster, um, he was floored. He was like, "Yeah, let's do it." He wasn't floored right away. He didn't fully understand what he was supposed to do. So like, the first episode was definitely weird for him. What was the first one we filmed? I might be able to check. Um, First one we filmed. It might have been. Well, we filmed like the. It's on my phone, and I'm using my phone. Hold on. If my records are right, the first one was the handshake task. That's not what I thought, and that's kind of funny. But yeah, so that was as we went, it was like, I like that picture. It's a little monkey in a suit. Anyway, sorry, distracted. The He got more comfortable as he learned, just as all the other actors did, where they didn't know what to expect. They just went and they had a good time, and it was really, really fun. This whole project was such like a blessing and a curse. I wanted to do it purposefully, of just me, proving that I could do it. Not for my benefit, but for yours. Because I wanted this to be a motivation for all of you. Whoever's watching this, I hope this finds you well, to where it's like, hey, I don't know if I could do it. I'm just one person. I'm just one person. And I did it. You can do it too. Do it. It was worth it in the end. Everybody loved it. Credit goes to Julie. She made this little Taskmaster duck for me. Also, thank you to Tabitha. She went on Etsy and got this little Greg Davies head. And thank you for all of them for being patient, understanding. I've said thanks to all of them already personally, but like also thanks for Drew for telling me about the show. Thanks for Cole because he's that guy's a wizard with like sound and stuff like that, and he didn't judge me too harshly. He he actually told me when I hung out with him after the show was airing, he said that he genuinely looks forward to watching it every week because he forgot a lot of stuff that happened, and just seeing it all come together is just great. Thank you for Hannah for being just terrible at the whole tasks, everything. No, she was she made me laugh the hardest I've ever laughed on camera. And I don't think that's going to be topped. She is hilarious. Also, thank you for Julie for attempting to help me edit. It was difficult, but we ended up getting through everything. So, I mean, thank you all. Thank you for Jermaine for just sticking it out and being the best that he could do, which was awesome. Like he nailed it. He understood the assignment, and he had a lot of fun. And thank you to you, the viewers. Like there's a lot here. This was a big show, and I won't say that I won't ever do it again. Obviously, it will look different. It just the first season I wanted to do it with no budget so that I can maybe inspire people to do it, to just get up and try something. Like, I didn't know if this was going to work. It didn't start coming together until like halfway through the editing. The editing, when I was just putting one person's footage, like the three camera angles together, that's when it was getting very tedious, and I was like, oh, like halfway through that, which mind you, hundreds of video files, putting that all together, that was hard. But it's when I started putting them together with the other four actors, that's when it started to click. I was like, I've got something here. This is going to be good. So just because something doesn't look like it's going to be entertaining at first, don't give up. It just might not look like it yet. But that's why it's important to plan, you know. That's one of your early steps. You have to plan on even the editing and like what all that's going to look like. I did not figure out a release date until after I finished recording with Jermaine. And I didn't start recording with Jermaine until I was finished recording with everybody else. And I didn't finish and I didn't even I finished editing everybody else before I started recording with Jermaine. So there's a correction. There was a lot of planning, and I knew a lot of what I wanted to do. I knew a lot of stuff before anybody else. Like the prank task with Drew, like he was definitely a good sport about that. That was not planned at the beginning, but I knew I wanted to do um like one task to somebody else. I just didn't know what that looked like. I had ideas, but it all worked out. So be patient. That's the biggest thing. Be patient, be understanding, and just have fun. This is not going to be an easy thing. So if you want to make a series, know that it's work. It's a lot of work. At my actual work, I remember coworkers like I ended up on a new team with a lot of new people, and um, whenever there'd be opportunities to take days off or we'd have extra and I could go home. Like I work in a factory, um, and my coworkers, like I'd tell them like, all right, I'm gonna be taking off to go do more work, and they're like, what are you doing? I basically go home and I edit from sunlight, from sun up to sundown. Like it took up a lot of my personal time, and I don't regret it. I had the opportunity to hire an editor. I did not because I knew that would cost a lot of money. And while the footage would probably turn out a lot better, I wanted to inspire people that you can do this. Money is an option. You don't need the money to make something good. There are editing softwares that you can use on your phone. So you don't even necessarily need a computer. Will it take longer? Yeah. Is there better editing softwares than the one that I use? Yeah. But at the end of the day, this is what I use, and it was cheap. It was really, really cheap. I created an entire series for less than 200 bucks. You can do that too. So, with that said, any questions, any comments, leave them in down below. Let me know what you want to do. Let me know if you need help. Want to collab? Let's collab. Let's have fun. Like, I use this platform to have fun. And I know this video is very vlog type where it's just me talking in my phone, but that's what I kind of knew it was going to be. I don't like talking in my phone. It's not really natural. It's not really comfortable to me. But it 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 is what it is. I said I'd put this video out, so I am. It's out. Should be the week after tasks ends. So get your votes in. I believe I set it till April of 2023. So there will be probably another video, maybe just a post of who won based on your vote. I have the Jermaine vote where I compiled all of the scores together for who won according to his votes, and like that winner was already decided. That will also be told in that poster video. Let's see if it matches. Do you disagree with Jermaine? Do you agree with Jermaine? It's up to you at the end of the day. So yeah, maybe we'll do something fun with the winner. Don't know, but that will be next summer. So, because yeah, in April it's either in April or May is when I'm gonna start getting all of those votes. And yeah, so that's it. There will be other stuff that I'll upload, but it won't be as consistent. After this series, there's a break. Like I told myself, besides this video, I ain't doing anything for the rest of 2022 because this took an entire year to make and I'm taking a break. So, with all of that said, thank you so much for all the views, all the comments. I genuinely read all of them. I I love this show. I love the show that it was based off of. I love all of this stuff. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I am Luke DuFour, also known as Luxa. I was the Taskmaster assistant, if you will. Thank you, Alex Horn. Thank you, Greg Davies. Thank you for not suing me, but you won't get much because I didn't really make anything. But as a challenge to Alex Horn, if for some reason he sees this video, which I doubt he will, but if he sees this video, Alex, you put me on your actual show, Taskmaster, I'll win. But in the meantime, take it easy, everybody. God bless. And yeah, hopefully this video helps you. But leave comments and questions and everything, and I'll respond. But take care, everybody.